Dear devotees and friends, this Wednesday we will start studying the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Let us begin with this mantra. Tabo kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Now, last 2 Wednesdays, we were reading and discussing about the nitya, that is the permanent, the empirical, and leela, that is temporary, phenomenal state. This is a very unique condition. This is the first time we came to know about it. A person who was in both sides, sometimes in the empirical with us in this world, in this and sometimes with the God and sometimes with the human being, sometimes in the empirical, sometimes with the phenomenal. This is something very unique. That is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And he is standing as a bridge, showing us that this is possible. When you know something through our senses, an object when we know through the senses, and that is called phenomena. And that is temporary. That is leela. The Sanskrit word leela means all temporary things. Now, everything that we see in this world through our senses only. We see, we hear, we touch, we taste, we smell. These are the 5 organs that we use, and all the objects, whatever we see, varieties of objects, but only these 5. So that whenever we are experiencing, we are actually experiencing the leela, these temporary things. But behind this, there is something permanent. Whenever there is something temporary, and we can understand this is temporary, and our experiences says everything is changing, naturally it is temporary. The water of the river is constantly flowing. We know this is temporary. The water that we took from the river is not the same water again if we take from the same river. That is not the same water. So naturally we can understand everything is changing and changing. We'll look at the album, our family album, and we go to our grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, then me. So like this it is going on changing. We can understand that. About this world, phenomenal world, this changing world, the leela, we have the experience, we have the idea, but the problem is we take it as permanent. Though we see everything changing, but somehow we don't like to accept it. And that is called maya. The maya, the word that the Vedantin they have used, the maya, and that is the beauty of the maya. Where from it came? They say it is the power of God, bewildering people. We see things are changing, but we don't believe it. We don't like to accept it. We think that that is permanent. Pages after pages of the history, of the human history, is telling about the leela, the temporary things. Kings after kings came. So many things happened. In our personal life also happened. We see every moment things are changing. Well, ask yourself, do you like to say that this is changing? Somewhere at the back of the mind, we always like to say, oh, this is permanent. I understand, this is permanent. For me, it is permanent. Though it is going to change. Myself, when I go and look at the the mirror, stand before the mirror, I never can think that I am going to die. Can anyone? That is called Maya. Something is constantly befooling us, bewildering us, and we have to fight, we have to remove that condition of our mind, and that is called spirituality. The process of removing the ignorance, the Vedanta will say ajnana. Ajnana means ignorance. What is that ignorance? It is temporary, but still I don't like to accept it as temporary. That is ajnana. When we remove that, then what remains is called permanent, and that is nitya. Sanskrit nitya means permanent. It never changes. And obviously we know when we can understand the change, there must be something static. Comparing with that only we can understand. So this what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he showed us in his own life. Sometimes some great soul, they went into samadhi, came back, and they gave us the teachings, and we accepted that. There are so many great teachers out there in the world. But this is, here we find someone sitting in our drawing room, and he is taking us to that nitya, eternal, just before us. He was talking and having fun, eating just like us. Suddenly he says, I can't see you, somewhere else. When you go and touch, we don't feel that he is leaving. Where has he gone? The man was here. Now where is he? Before everyone, daytime, nighttime, in Calcutta, in Dakshineshwar, everywhere, he is just going to the other world and coming back. That is the reason. This is unique in the history of the spiritual world. Truly unique. Never happened. So Swami Vivekananda said, Sri Ramakrishna is Avatara Varishtaya. He is the greatest among all these divine teachers. And we are reading only a few conversations when the teacher, our master Mahasaya, he used to come to him, and whatever he said, he noted it down. That has come down to us as the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and the Panchama Veda, as I say, like to say, love to say, because everything is so truth. It's all knowledge. And this page that we are reading, 744 of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, translated by Swami Nikhilananda. So here what we find, and sometimes some people, the original book, that Bengali, that is page 797. That total, the Bengali Kathamrita, 797, and this is 744 to 747 we will go. And now he said about the Nitya and the Leela. And when you understand the Nitya, still living in the Leela, when you realize, understand, and completely transform yourself into that permanent world, permanent existence, but still you are living physically in this temporary world, what is that condition? Shankaracharya said that is Jivan Mukta Avastha. The Jivan means the living. Mukta is liberated. Liberated from where? From the ignorance. And what is that ignorance? Every temporary thing we accept or like to accept or believe as permanent. That is ignorance. It is not ignorance about the this or that. Oh, he doesn't know, he is an ignorant fellow, ignorant person. Not like that. Here the ignorance means he doesn't have the idea about the permanent. So when he knows it or she knows it, a person knows it, but at the same time living in this world like an ordinary person, he is called Jivana Mukta. And in our last discourse, we discussed about it, the Jivana Mukta Avastha. That is the uniqueness. Sometimes after meditation we realize it, and after the realization there is so much of joy, and we don't like to live in this world because that is all nasty. So most of the people, after realizing the truth, they like to give up the body. They don't like to eat, they don't like to maintain the body, physical things. So they die because of the joy. And for us, again, when the moment we talk about the death, we are afraid. Oh my God, after God realization we are going to die? We don't need God realization. Again foolishness, again ignorance, again ajnana, again maya, because it is the joy, the eternal joy, the permanent happiness which has been termed as bliss. So when you get that, you get everything. But some people, they can maintain both. Even after that, they remain in this world to help others. After reaching the destination, some people, they come back and then they become guide of the others and help them to go up to the summit. They themselves went in a difficult path and went on the top of the hill, the Mount Everest, and then they came back and opened a school and taught other people the technique to reach over there and to get the joy of reaching on the top of the world. So that way the Jivan Mukta is like. But how we will know who is a Jivan Mukta? Shankaracharya, as we already read, he said that Yasya sthita bhavet prajna. He said 428 words of the Viveka Chudamani we mentioned in our last class. I am repeating. Yasya sthita bhavet prajna. How we will know that person is a Jivan Mukta? His prajna, his knowledge is firm. He is not going to be bewildered. No temptation can sway his decision. Nothing. His prajna, his knowledge, his intellect has realized the truth. He knows it. Friends, I was in Andaman. Many of you know, many times I remember that those days. I was there for 8 years. I was in Arunachal Pradesh, a part of course in Arunachal Pradesh that is called Narottam Nagar. The district is called Tirap. I was there for 12 years. I know how those people are, their culture, at least to a great extent I know. Obviously 12 long years, 8 long years I was there. I know how those things were. Of course, slowly changes, but basic things are there, I can understand. Now, those who have never visited Andaman, that island, or that Arunachal Pradesh, the place I lived, and if they go on telling or writing books about that place, just imagining or reading some here and there, some notes, how can I accept that? So obviously, when they say, you know what happened in Andaman, that there are tigers, there are these and there are that. So I am not going to accept it. Sometimes some people, they used to say, oh, in Andaman you were there, and there were people who eat the human fleshes like that. They never. But anyway, if you like to make a story and the movie, that is all right. But I am not going to accept that because I lived over there. So they can never make me convinced about their false imaginary things. Why? Because I realize that a Jivan Mukta is just like that. A Jivan Mukta, he lived with the Brahman. He realized Brahman. He know what is Brahman. Now, willingly, he is living in this temporary world, and which is to us who has not realized Brahman is a very happy place. And we will be giving him the description. Have you visited that place? Oh, it is so wonderful. And have you visited that national park? Oh, it is so beautiful. The best in the world, they will say. But that man will smile and say, is it? So that is good. Let us go. But for him, just he is going and seeing, but he is not getting convinced with that, because the happiness he knows. So Shankara is telling, giving that, he is telling, Yashya Sthita Bhavet Pragya, whose pragya is strongly anchored on that spiritual experience. Second, Yashya Ananda Nirantara, always happy, never unhappy. In any situation, he is very happy. When Swami Vivekananda, the famous Vivekananda, some people used to criticize him, but he used to enjoy with that also. Oh, either you have to appreciate me or you have to criticize me, but you cannot ignore me. Well, by that way, he used to say like that. He never cared about those things. Why? He knew the truth. These people are simply saying something, it doesn't matter anything. He has seen, he has realized. Ananda, the joy, the happiness is eternal. And for that, this person is not depending on anything. And thirdly, prapancha vismrita praya. And he forgets about the existence of this world. What to talk about the beauty, the wealth, the power, nothing. He forgets that. As we forget that in our deep sleep, when a king is sleeping in the deep sleep and the beggar is sleeping in his deep sleep, both are same. They don't know the difference. Maybe they are sleeping side by side, something happened, the king and the beggar. If by chance they come together and they are sleeping side by side, they won't know who is the king and who is the beggar. Same way, a realized soul, he will be living with us, but he is not going to accept this world as permanent. So that is prapancha bismita praya sa jivan mukta ishyate. He is jivan mukta. And Shankaracharya had to encourage, and he said, that is the goal. Jivan mukti sukha prapti hetabe janmadharitam. Why the human birth? Only to achieve that. Strive for that. You must learn that. And today, friends, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is going to teach us the technique to reach into that condition. Sri Ramakrishna is the Amritasya Setuhu. There's a beautiful word from the Upanishad, and it says it is a bridge between this phenomenal world and empirical world. Nitya and Leela are connected through Sri Ramakrishna. We have heard about the Nitya. Oh, God is there, He is permanent, He never gets any changes, the Brahman is eternal. We read, we hear, but we don't have any experience. But when we go to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, look at his life, read his biography, authentic biography is there. His direct disciples, they have written about him. Then we feel, oh, that must be there. So it becomes the bridge. And we start thinking, oh, we can also cross. This is wavy because this life is full of misery. And sometimes It is just flash. Some of the joy is coming. Some people are appreciating me. Some people are just praising me. I feel so happy, so joy. And I am an actor, I am a singer, I am a successful administrator, I am a successful businessman, I am a successful player somewhere in something I am playing. And the moment the success comes, we become very happy. Oh, life is so happy. But again, all those objects through which I was getting the joy goes away, slips away. Well, even if I don't like to lose those, they always go away. There's a people never like to share their wealth. And ultimately, even if they don't want, they have to leave. All alone they came, alone they have to leave. They cannot take anything from this world, and that is truth for the king and truth for the beggar. But we don't like to believe it. That ignorance we have to overcome. Then only we can cross this bridge and reach to the Amrit. What is this Amrit? Jivan Mukta condition. That is the Amrit. Now, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is now teaching today the technique. I practiced all sorts of sadhana. He is telling, I practiced all sorts of sadhana. During my sadhana period, I had all kinds of amazing visions. I distinctly perceived the communion of Atman. Distinctly perceived the communion of the Atman. So that is the unique condition. Friends, now meditation is a very popular word. Each and everyone all over the world, little educated people, all are talking about the meditation. Even sometimes in the army and the disciplined forces also, they are practicing meditation, because so much of the business organizations are also teaching meditation through, naturally meditation teachers are coming, they are also teaching different type of techniques are coming. So that is okay. That's all commercial thing that is happening. If the people get some benefit, it's okay. But what is the purpose of meditation? The purpose of meditation is not just to calm your mind, and then again with that calm mind you can plunge into the business and get a good profit. No, that is not the purpose of meditation. Purpose of meditation is to go beyond the bondage of desire. That is the purpose of meditation. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he is teaching us the meditation, when he is hinting about his sadhana, his spiritual practices, it is that. And he is telling, during my sadhana period, I had all kinds of amazing visions. Please remember, those who have not read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, they may by mistake think, oh, the egoistic person talking about him. He may say, oh, that I have had the vision. Most of the people, they talk like that. Sri Ramakrishna was not like that. He could not even say I. So this body he was not at all associated. It was so difficult for him to associate with this body. I don't know how many of us will be able to understand this. Because we means, I means, you means this body only, nothing else. Swami Ishatmananda, this body. And Mr. So-and-so, that body. And Miss So-and-so, that body. So this is only body. And the name and that form, we are so much attached to that. It is so difficult for us to understand when someone says, I can't understand this. Arjuna, in the Bhagavad Gita, if you read, you will find in one place he is praising Krishna because he understood that point and said, I now believe you. Why? Because you are telling that you are such. He is telling Krishna. All these years he used to think Krishna is his friend. But the time came, he realized the person who is moving with me, talking with me, living with me, making fun with me, he is not my just friend. He is the God of this universe in human form. About him, all the great teachers, they are giving the statements. That is all right. But I believe, O Krishna, because you said it. Why? Because you are not ordinary person. You don't have any desire. You don't have any ego. So when you say these, that you are so and so, I believe it. That's a great realization. Not everybody is talking about this, I am this, I am that. Everybody is beating their own drums. It is not that. So we have to, at least that intelligence we should have to understand the genuine people and the fake people. So obviously, when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, during my sadhana, I had all kinds of amazing visions. It's a completely different thing, different statement. And why he is telling this? He himself will ask this question and give the answer. He is saying this, telling this, so that we can understand. I distinctly perceived a commune of Atman. Atman is there. Brahman is there. God is there. Jehovah is there. Buddha is there. It is possible to realize, possible to understand. So that is the why he is telling it. Atman is there. This is the self. And self is completely different from this body. Not the mind also. Mind is the subtlest thing of all this. Our personality, we have the body, we have the other things also. The chakshu, karna, nashika, jiva, all subtle things are there, but the subtlest thing is the mind, is so powerful. Manaso jabiyo, when they are in the Upanishad they say, what is this Atman? The mind is the fastest thing in this world, anything. Much, much faster than the light. And it travels in such a fast way. I am sitting over here, in a flash my mind goes to any country, any place, anywhere in the world, any moment it can reach over there. So fast it is. But those who have realized the Atman, they will say, mind goes and sees over there what? Atman only. Without the Atman, mind cannot function. The moment your mind is functioning means Atman is already there. So that Atman, manaso jabiyo, it is the faster than the mind. And Sri Ramakrishna says, I have seen that Atman, the communion with the Atman. I realized that Atman. When I meditated during my sadhana, I used to think of the unflickering flame of a lamp set in the windless place. That means the mind must be withdrawn from all the objects, sense objects. Again and again in Vedanta we will come to this. In the Indian music they always call som. It is they will go in the 7 different tunes are there, and then they will come back to the 0, and that is called som. And in Indian spirituality, again and again they will come to this to make you understand this pancha, the 5 sense organs, the eye, the tongue, the nose, the ear, the skin, they are going out and collecting information. That is called ahara, that is the food of the mind. Now sometimes we make mistake, the moment we say food, we think eatable, just that we can taste. Of course that is, but it is all the 5. When you see When you hear, when you smell, when you touch, that is also the information, that is also the ahara, that is also the collection. Ahara means collection. But that is the food of the mind. And with those food, the mind is becoming so mad. So obviously this mind cannot, because it is changing, this mind cannot be Atman. The Atman is completely different from the mind, and mind is not Atman. So that in the Vedanta, again and again, they will try to make us understand that point. Most of the time, even some of the European the philosophers, they took mind as the final word. No, it is the Atman. In deep meditation, a man is not at all conscious of the outer world. If you have taken initiation, you must be knowing that the most of our gurus, the Ramakrishna mission teachers, they say that you have to come out of your body and see your body as a temple, and your chosen ideal, Ishta Devata or the Devi. Ishta means chosen. And that God or Goddess is sitting inside your heart, facing towards that where you are facing. That means you have to forget your body and you have to come out, and then you have to look at yourself. That is meditation. You have to forget yourself also. I am not this body. And forget about the other things, where I am sitting, the room, the road, the vehicles, the sound, everything you have to forget, and that is called meditation. And this is not a sleep. And when you go into deep sleep, same thing happens. But there we are not conscious. Unconsciously we are reaching over there. So when we get up, and it's the same old person. But when you meditate, consciously withdrawing your senses from the sense objects, becoming one-pointed, going to somewhere where there is nothing but the consciousness, and when you come back from that, you are Buddha. So that Gautama, who sat under a peepal tree, and he was withdrawing his sense organs from the sense objects, entered into the realm of knowledge, and when he got up from that deep meditation, he was no more Gautama, he was the Buddha, the knower of the truth. That is called meditation, and that is the purpose of meditation. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us that meditation. So we have to fight with our mind, which is always tempted to go and enjoy the sense objects. And these sense objects have been created by Maya. And the Maya is nothing but illusion. But we accept that as permanent. Again, when we accept that something which is not true, it's just apparent, standing over there, sitting over there, and we think, oh, this is permanent. So many different ways the Vedantin have tried to give the example. There is a prism, which is just transparent. And some red color has been kept at the back of the prism, and when we look through the prism, we see this is a red prism. Is it? No. Take out the red color, it is only nothing, no color is there. You put any color, you will see that. The world is just like that. So this is the way we have to understand. But who will be interested? Those who have understood the futility of this world. They were successful people, but then they understood the futility of it. Those who have just started their human life, of course they will be happy to get some enjoyment. Let them enjoy. The one should not disturb them. Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam. It says like that in the Bhagavad Gita. Don't disturb them. They like to enjoy. It's okay. But only guide them. Because we love them, they will suffer. If they are accepting that as a permanent, there will be suffering and nothing else. So similarly, we have to, the spiritual teachers, those who have truly realized it in their own life, then they can go and say, see, look at this, be careful. You like to enjoy? Enjoy. But with a little control. With a control, if you enjoy, it's nothing, it's okay. So that is the way, and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling that you have to withdraw your senses. This whole mind should be completely still. You have to kill the mind. In the great teacher Yoga Vasishta, the Guru Vasishta, he is telling to his disciple Sri Ramachandra, kill the mind. That means still the mind. That means there should not be any function of the mind. He used that very strong word, killing, and people are all, oh no, there should not be any killing. So it is not killing means you have to completely forget the external world. There should not be any modifications. What is mind? Nothing but modifications. It goes on thinking. Now you have to still the mind. There should not be any wave. And how the wave creates? When there is a wind. And what is the wind? Nothing but the desire. So the desire, which is actually like the winds, are creating waves on the water of our mind, that has to be stopped. So he says, in deep meditation, a man is not at all conscious of the outer world. A person can achieve such single-mindedness in meditation that he will see nothing, hear nothing. He will not be conscious even of touch. In deep meditation, the sense organs stop functioning. In deep meditation, the sense organs stop functioning. The mind does not look outward. It is like closing the gate of the outer court in a house. There are 5 objects of the senses: form, taste, smell, touch, and sound. They are all left outside. The pancha means 5. The pancha, the sense organs. That first is the eye. And when what is the function of the eye? To see the form. It goes and sees a flower. The flower is red and it is beautiful, it has the petals. The form it is reporting to the mind. Taste is the tongue. And then smell, the nose. Touch is when our the skin is mainly the hand, we can say, is touching, and the sound is the ear. So this is the way the 5 organs constantly collecting information of the external world. What are those objects? Temporary. Again, I am repeating this word again and again to bring that truth home, that these things are actually not there. We are imagining, we are thinking, and we are enjoying. There is nothing to enjoy over there. Sri Ramakrishna will be giving us the description. What is this? And he will say, at the beginning of meditation, the objects of the senses appear before the aspirant. But when the meditation becomes deep, they no longer bother him. They are left outside. How many things I saw during meditation! I vividly perceived before me a heap of rupees. Rupees, the Indian coin, in rupees, a shawl, a plate of sweets, and women with rings in their noses. What do you want? I asked my mind. Do you want to enjoy any of these things? No, replied the mind. I don't want any of them. I don't want anything but the lotus feet of God. I saw the inside and outside of a body. As one sees from outside the articles of a glass room, I saw what is in them, the entrails, the blood, the filth, the worms, all such things. So what is in the body? In the Vivek Chudamani also Shankaracharya describing the human body as so vivid. But still the doctors, they are regularly opening the body at the time of studying the medicine. They are segregating, they are practicing all those. Every day they are studying, they know what is there, the bones and marrows and all these things are in the body. But still, there are some doctors who are so much attached to those bodies. Why? Again, Maya. Though we know that they are not so good, only a skin is covering all the filth. But still we are so much tempted to those bodies. Why? Maya. So friends, we have to understand these. Those who have understood these, they will slowly withdraw their mind from the attachment to these bodies. And along with the body there is name, the fame and the physical comforts, the wealth, all that will go. And that is called Vairagya. Viveka, Vairagya. These are the two great words for the spiritual aspirants, not for all. Those who like to enjoy, let them enjoy. Please enjoy. But when you will understand, then come to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and hold his hand and start moving towards the spirituality. And you will, the first thing you have to understand, all these things in the world are temporary. What we see is not true. Like the body that we see and we get attracted, just because of one lady, the country was destroyed. The Iliad, Odyssey, all those stories, when we read, the one queen was there just for her. The whole race was destroyed. Two groups of people, they fought only for that. And then what was the main thing? Ego. Oh, we have to go and we are powerful. All people they went and they died over there. They killed also. For what? Where is that queen? Nowhere. Maybe if you, some people they may find somewhere something of that as a historical evidence. Nothing is there. Just open the history book. You see the things are happening for the wealth and for this type of the enjoyment. It is only killing and all this merciless thing happening. But those who are doing, they are thinking they are doing great things. Historians are also writing about them. Oh, he killed 1 million people. He was a great, powerful warrior. What is this? So like that only, if we can understand, then you have understood the futility of this world. Then Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna will be a great guidebook for you. That's why when we are reading this, Tapta Jivanam, Tavo Kathamritam, Tapta Jivanam. Your words, O Lord, are just like the Amrit, like the drop of nectar. To whom? Tapta Jivanam. Those who understood this. So people unnecessarily, they are wasting their energy and time for all these things. But go and talk to them, they won't believe. They're so much engrossed into that. They are thinking that I am going to have that. After me, my son will pursue. But for what? I was chasing my shadow. I could not catch my shadow. No problem. My son will continue the search. He will run after his own shadow. Like this we are going on. And we are thinking we are doing great thing in this world. What is spirituality? Understanding this. And that is called Viveka. Understanding this. When you can understand, Vairagya. What is the Vairagya? Give up that. And when you give up, it is a negative. Okay, I give up. And against that what I get? You get the nectar, Amrit. And what is that Amrit? Joy, the bliss. How can you get that? Because now you are standing on truth. You realize the truth. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is going on. People of small intellect seek occult power. Why he said that? Because Girish Chandra Ghosh, he used to say now and then that he could cure illness by the strength of the master's name. Some people, they like to have that. Of course it is possible if you can, that if you have the faith, and occult it is possible, but Sri Ramakrishna never liked it, never appreciated it. When the Girish was telling, at that time Sri Ramakrishna was alive, he was there, but Girish has great faith in the name of Sri Ramakrishna. He knew, he felt, he understood, he realized that Sri Ramakrishna is nothing but God, and the God's name and God are inseparable. And if you take the name of God with great faith, God's grace will surely come to you. That is the way it works. So Girish used to say like that, but Sri Ramakrishna didn't like that. That is also temporary. I am suffering, so I go to someone and then he will be uttering the name of God and touching me, and my the headache is gone, my the ache is gone, then I am, for how long? Again the whole body will die someday. So why should I have to use all those for a temporary period of time? That is okay. Either today or tomorrow I am going to die. That is for certain. Maybe I will live another 20 years, is okay. Maybe I am not, that is also okay. It is all same. And that is called the courage. It is not that I go and kill some people, innocent people. That is not the courage. Courage is this. Understanding the truth of the futility of the world, you are always ready to go beyond the death, fear of death. Friends, this Sri Ramakrishna is telling like this: people of small intellect seek occult powers, but the genuine devotee of God don't want anything except his lotus feet. The moment you will hear that someone can touch you and can heal you, there will be a great queue, there will be line. So many people, educated, scientists, professors, maybe the doctors are also there. Why? Oh, if you go, then he will touch his right hand on your head and everything will be over. For how long? And if you observe, that person is going to hospital to the doctors for his or her cure. Why? So this we should not go for that. No occult thing. We should go now. How many other visions I saw while meditating during my sadhana? Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. Once I was meditating under a bel tree when sin, the pauper, appeared before me and tempted me in various ways. He came to me in the form of an English soldier, and different form they come. What is this sin? In the temptation, Jesus tempted, there is a movie that I saw long back. The scene appeared before the Jesus when he was getting the people who were punishing him, the king of that. Then he appeared before the Jesus and said, look at me. I can give you the comfort, I can protect you, but your Father in heaven, the God, could not protect you. You are suffering. They are flogging you. Why don't you come to me? I will give the protection. The Jesus looked at that person, the devil, and then somehow got up and asked those people to flog again. So no temptation. I know that God is truth. And this body, all this comfort, all this name, everything will go away. Now, where is that king who punished the Jesus? Where are those people who killed those Jesus? Now, Jesus is eternal. That is called Amrit. It's not the liquid that I eat or drink and then immediately this body become permanent. Not like that. Eternal means I am surviving in the minds of the millions of people all through. That is called, that this is our Mahavir, Hanumanji. He lives eternally. That means the spirit of that. He says, he was tempting. He wanted to give me wealth, honor, sex pleasure, various occult power, and such things. I began to pray to the Divine Mother. Now I am telling you something very secret. The Mother appeared. I said to her, kill him, Mother. I still remember that form of the Mother, her world bewitching beauty. She came to me taking the form of Krishnamayi. Krishnamayi is the younger daughter of the Balaram Bose. The scene came in the form of a British soldier, English soldier, and the mother came in the form of a Krishnamayi, the daughter of the Balaram Bose, but it was as if her glance moved the world. So that is the vision he saw. Sri Ramakrishna became silent. Resuming his reminiscences, he said, how many other visions I saw, but I am not permitted to tell them. Someone is shutting my mouth, as it were. I used to find no distinction between the sacred Tulsi and the insignificant Sajna leaf. The feeling of the distinction was entirely destroyed. So what is the spiritual realization? These. Samadarshitva. Those who claim that they are spiritual people should understand that Veda need not to tell the world. They should go stand before a mirror and ask themselves, have they truly developed this samadarshitva, same-sightedness? Have they desire for the worldly name, fame, physical comfort? Then still long way to go, long way to go. We cannot deceive ourselves. We can deceive the world, but we cannot deceive ourselves, and neither we can deceive the God. So instead of telling the other people, oh, I am a religious man and I have this and that, instead, this is the way we have to. Once I was meditating under the banyan when I was shown as a Muslim with a long beard. He came to me with a rice in an earthen plate. He fed some other Muslims with the rice and also gave me a few grains to eat. The mother showed me that there exists only one and not two. It is Satchidananda alone that has taken all these various forms. He alone has become the world and its living beings. Again, it is He who has become food. This is Vedanta. When you talk about Vedanta, when you talk about Hinduism, Hinduism is nothing but Vedanta. Hinduism talks only about the one and no two. A true Hindu, a devout Hindu, can never find distinction between these and that. It's not possible. Those who are in the society according to the condition of the society, according to the condition of the politics, the economical situation, political situation, they may behave, of course. They have the right to protect themselves. They must do that. But when they talk about religion, when they say that I am killing that person in the name of Hinduism, that is wrong. No. I am fighting with that person because I felt that he is going to kill me or destroy my family. I have every right to fight back. Of course you can. But as a religion, those who are followers of Ramakrishna mission or the Sri Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the true followers of spirituality, religion, they should understand this. There is only one without two. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is speaking about the scene came in the form of someone, and the Muslim came and he was distributing the food from his own plate. And they gave that food to Sri Ramakrishna too. And the mother showed him there is no distinction. From the narrow social, political, economical view, we should not explain these. We have to go beyond all these little small things. And from the eternal perspective of the spirituality, which will be there even when the whole world will be destroyed, that truth will remain. That is spirituality. To Girish, Aim and others, I have the nature of a child. And Hriday said to me, uncle, ask the mother for some occult power. And I went to the temple and asked the mother, he was telling, the mother scolded him and showed him a very bad scene, that this is called occult power. You want that? Sri Ramakrishna, and he was having all the power. He was the God himself. So obviously, then the master to the Aim. Sri Ramakrishna is telling the Aim, the writer, well, have I done any wrong in telling these secret experiences? He is asking, am I beating my own drum? Oh, I had this, I had that, this experience, that experience. Aim did not know what to say and kept quiet. The master, he himself replied, why should there be any harm? Why should there be any harm in it? I have told these things to create faith in you all. That is the purpose. When these great personalities, those who have no ego at all, is talking about them, it is not just to the saying something about himself to make himself great or patting his own back, no. It is to encourage us so that we can understand. The Master Mashai hesitating. After the while he said to Aim very humbly, will you kindly bring him here? Here means the Purna, the young boy. Master hesitated, yes sir, I shall send for him this very moment. Then the Master Ramakrishna is telling that in Purna I have reached the post. I have reached the post. Master Mahasaya understood what he meant. Post means, was Sri Ramakrishna hinting that Purna was perhaps the last devotee of his inner circle? So that is, Sri Ramakrishna then described to Girish, Aim and other devotees his own experience of Mahabhava. So we will continue. You know, friends, that we will be discussing about a little from the our Patanjali Yogadarshana also. In the meditation, what are the hindrances? That's called Pancha Klesha. So as the time is not there, so we will rather discuss it in the next. But I will just mention these because today's topic, live in the world in a spirit of detachment. Live in the world in a spirit of detachment. Not that you have to leave the hearth and home. Some people, they become monks, and when you look at them, we think, oh, they are very happy. And some people, they wear the Gerua clothes. Now it is available in the shops, the Gerua clad color, the saffron color. They put on that cloth and take the photo and give it to. That is good. They have the love for this. But what actually this color mean is giving up. What we are giving up? Ego. It's not the home. It is not the money. It is not the position. It is not the any other thing. Oh, I should not eat this. I should not go there. Nothing like that. Only when you don't have the ego, automatically it will be done. We will continue. So, Sri Ramakrishna taught us live in the world, but with a spirit of detachment. So, is there any question?
Yes. Shivaratna Kumari, she has a two-part question. The first part is, I have a question regarding understanding our duties and responsibilities. As we become more and more detached, we tend to lose interest in doing anything in the world. Second part, can you please tell us how we should perform duties with complete involvement yet with detachment?
Shiva Kumari.
Shivaratna Kumari.
Shivaratna, that is the technique, that is the sadhana, that is the spiritual practice we have to perform. It's a very good question that you have asked. While living in the world, understanding the futility of the world, the temporariness of the world, but still performing whatever the responsibility and the duties we have taken up, with all just, with all interest, but inside detached, we know it is not actually true. Now, what will happen, that suppose you have done something and some people are not appreciating you for that, you won't feel any hurt. Oh, that's okay. That was my duty, I have done that, that's all. So, Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu, we always say, I offer whatever we have done, we offer it at the feet of the Lord. Forget about that. That is a practice. Just one day we cannot do that. It's a practice, but it's a very good idea. You need not to give up. Whatever the responsibility you must perform, and perform with a spirit of detachment. And you need not to announce that, hey, I am taking the classes, I am a professor though, but I am completely detached. You need not to announce in that way. Inside, internally, constantly, you should say, I am performing my duty in the best possible way that I can do, but I am not attached to it. Thank you. Okay. So, with the two parts you said?
First part, I was getting more and more detached and was losing interest. Was the first part.
Oh, no, you should not lose interest. The more you are involved into the spiritual life, the more you understand that this is the best thing in the world, the more you start loving others, caring for others. So, you should not feel like that. Thank you. Let us conclude by uttering this mantra. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.